In this video, I'm looking at simplifying, if I can, these expressions and answering them with positive indexes. So let's just have a look at part A first. We have x to the power of negative 3. Now this is already as simple as it can get, but it has a negative index, so we'll just sort that out by writing it with a positive index in the reciprocal, so by putting it from the top to the bottom. Okay, having a look at part B. We have 2m to the power of negative 4 times n squared. So again, this is already as simple as it can be, but we need to express it in a positive index because we have a negative one here. So what we need to do is we write everything but the one we're looking at, and then we want to write the reciprocal, so put it over m to the power of positive 4. Okay, having a look at part C now, if we have 4 over a to the negative 6, and all we need to do is again write this with a positive index, which means write the a to the negative 6 as a to the positive 6 as its reciprocal. Considering it's on the bottom, it now moves up to the top, and we have 4a to the 6. Okay, part D. We have a squared b to the negative 3 times a to the negative 5b. Now this isn't already as simple as it can be, so this is where we start simplifying. So we have times, that means we're going to use the first index law and start adding powers. So we're going to have a squared plus negative 5, because we have a squared plus a to the negative 5, b negative 3 plus 1, because there's an invisible 1 just there. So we now have, what's 2 plus negative 5? Well, that's a to the negative 3. And we have b, negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. So that's as simple as it can be. Now let's write it with positive indices. So that means writing these as their reciprocal. So it's going to be 1 over a to the 3b squared. And finally, part E. So I'm going to do part E over here. Part E, we have 2m cubed over n to the negative 2, all to the power of negative 2. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of this big negative 2 around the outside, and that means raise everything on the inside to the power of negative 2. So we're going to have 2 to the negative 2 m cubed to the negative 2 over n to the negative 2 over to the power of negative 2. Okay, so now let's get rid of these set of brackets, and that means that we're going to multiply the power on the outside in. So we've got 2 to the negative 2 m to the 3 times negative 2 divided by n to the negative 2 times negative 2. Okay, so that gives us 2 to the negative 2, m to the 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, over n to the negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Okay, so now again we just need to write this as positive indices, so we have 1 over 2 squared, because negative 2 brings a 2 to the power of 2 down. We have m to the negative 6, so we're going to have m to the power of 6. And n4 is already positive, so we'll leave it alone. And then 2 squared we can easily write as 4. So we have 1 over 4m6 n to the 4.